Now let us study the hole basis and shaft basis system. So in the industries we are using the systems of fits and tolerances so that we can achieve the required function, the required functionality of the component can be achieved. So we are using these systems, but these systems should have some reference. So whether hole should be made as the reference or shaft should be made as the reference. So what we can do is that either we can keep the size of the hole constant and we can vary the size of the shaft so as to achieve the required fit. So that is the hole basis system. Or we can keep the shaft size constant and we can vary the size of the hole, that is called as the shaft basis system, and this is done in order to achieve the required fit. We may require the clearance fit or the transition fit or the interference fit. So we need not change the dimensions or the limits of both hole and the shaft simultaneously, but we can keep one constant and that can be reference and we can vary the other, so that it will be easy for understanding and for manufacturing. The errors will be minimized. So limit and fit system is a system of series of standard allowances and tolerances to suit specific ranges of basic size, which when properly selected and assigned to mating parts ensure specific classes of fit. So we are using the limit and fit systems in the industries, and these limit and fit systems consist of the standard deviations, the various allowances, various tolerances, so that the basic size can be varied to a small amount, so that if that is selected properly, then we can achieve the required type of fit. The mating parts will fit into each other as per the requirement, and that the fit should be ensured. In a general limit system, in order to give the desired fit, it is necessary to decide on what basis the limits are to be found. So we have to decide some basis. So these basis may be hole basis or shaft basis system. So what should be kept constant? Either the dimensions of the hole should be kept constant or the dimensions of the shaft should be kept constant, and other dimensions should be varied. The dimensions of the mating component should be varied, and then we can achieve the required fit. There are two distinct systems for varying the sizes of parts in order to achieve the various fits, and these systems are known as hole basis system and shaft basis system of limits and fits. So first of all we study the hole basis system. So in hole basis system, simply we can say that hole is constant and the shaft is varied. So in this system, the design size of hole whose fundamental deviation is 0, fundamental deviation means lower deviation is 0, is assumed as basic size. So the hole is assumed, the size of the hole whose fundamental deviation is 0, that is lower deviation is 0, is assumed as the basic size. So whenever the fundamental deviation is 0, then that becomes the basic size, and different fits, clearances or interferences or transition fit, they are obtained. So we can obtain different fits by varying the limits of the mating part, that is shaft, to have different class of fit. So in hole basis system, the design size of hole whose fundamental deviation is 0 is assumed as basic size. So the basic size is nothing but the size of the hole whose lower deviation is 0 and that is kept constant. That basic size of the hole is kept constant and the limits of the shaft are varied so that you can obtain the desired fit between the shaft and the hole. In other words, limits of hole are kept constant and limits of shaft are varied. So the limits of the hole are kept constant, whereas the limits of the shaft are varied so as to obtain the necessary type of fit. Okay, so the limits of the shaft are varied in such a way that we can obtain the necessary type of fit. So in this system, the hole has constant high and low limits for all fits of same accuracy grade for same basic size. So the limits of the hole are constant. The higher limit and the lower limit of the hole are constant for all fits of same accuracy grade and for same basic size. So if the basic size is not changed and the accuracy grade is not changed, then the upper and lower limits of the hole are kept constant. So with the help of this graphical representation, we can study the whole basis system. So we know that this is the datum line or the reference line. So here the dimension is 0, right? This is the 0 line. So this 0 line will represent the basic size, right? So the basic size is nothing but the distance between the datum line or reference line and the 0 line. So that is the basic size. Now this red colored is nothing but the hole. So only one hole is shown because the hole is constant. The dimension of the hole along with the tolerance zone, that is constant, and this hole is having basic size such that the fundamental deviation, that is the lower deviation of the hole, is 0. So this is the lower deviation and that is 0 because this lower limit of the shaft, it coincides with the 0 line. We can see that the minimum limit of hole, that it coincides with the 0 line. So the minimum limit is equal to basic size. That means the fundamental deviation is 0, the lower deviation is 0, and this is the maximum limit of the hole. So this is the upper deviation, right? So this is nothing but the hole and this is the tolerance zone of the hole. So once again let me tell you that the fundamental deviation, that is the lower deviation for the hole, is 0 because this line coincides with the 0 line, or this dimension is nothing but equal to the basic size. The lowest size of the hole is equal to the basic size. So this is the lowest size of the hole, minimum size of the hole, and or minimum dimension of the hole, and that is equal to the basic size, right? Now we are here, three types of shafts are shown. This shaft represents clearance fit, this is representing transition fit, and this is indicating interference fit. Shaft number 3 is indicating interference fit. So if you go to this clearance fit shaft, you will find that this tolerance zone is lying below the 0 line. Tolerance zone is lying below the 0 line. So definitely we are having this much clearance. So the dimension of the maximum shaft or the biggest shaft is smaller than the smallest hole. The biggest shaft is smaller than the smallest hole. So always we are going to get the clearance here. So this is the clearance fit. Now in transition fit, it is observed that here this is the tolerance zone for the hole and this is the tolerance zone for the shaft. Okay. So in transition fit, it is observed that the biggest shaft is bigger than the smallest hole. Biggest shaft is bigger than the smallest hole, and the smallest hole is smaller than the biggest shaft, right? So this is about the transition fit. So this zone is changed. This tolerance zone or the size of the shaft is changed from clearance to transition, but the hole is fixed because it is hole basis system. And further we can increase the size of the shaft, and this zone is also shifted. This tolerance zone is also shifted in the interference side. So we obtain the interference fit in case of the shaft number 3. So this is the interference fit. In case of the interference fit, it is observed that even the smallest shaft is bigger than the biggest hole dimension. So this is nothing but the hole basis system. Now what are the advantages of the hole basis system? Since it is very easy, convenient and less costly to make holes of correct sizes by using drills, reamers, so we can use the standard tools like the drills and the reamers for manufacturing of the holes, the internal dimensions. So the internal dimensions can be manufactured very easily to the standard sizes by using the standard tools like the drills or the reamers, and therefore hole basis system is preferred and used by almost all the industries, because in hole basis system we are keeping the hole size constant and we can have the correct sizes, the exact sizes, the constant sizes of the holes by using these tools like drills or the reamers, and therefore hole basis system is preferred in almost all the industries. So it is very much easier to vary shaft sizes. At the same time, the shaft sizes can be easily varied. It is very much easier to vary shaft sizes according to the fit required. So hole size is kept constant and hole is manufactured by the standard tools like the drills and the reamers, which can give the correct sizes of the holes, and the shaft sizes can be varied very easily so that we can obtain the required fit by suitable methods such as turning and grinding. So the methods like turning and grinding can provide us the shaft of the required size. We can vary the size of the shaft by the processes like turning process or the grinding process. Also the inspection of the shafts can also be done very easily and rapidly. So not only production, not only manufacturing, but inspection is also important. So when we have to vary the sizes of the shaft, then we have to go for inspection also rapidly. We have to go for the rapid and easy inspection. So the inspections of the shaft can be done rapidly and easily with the help of adjustable gauges, but the holes cannot be measured so quickly. So direct external measurement such as shaft is easier than the internal measurement such as hole. So internal measurement is more difficult, whereas the external measurement is easy compared to the internal measurement. So we can easily vary the dimensions of the shaft, and we have to keep the dimensions of the hole constant. So this becomes more easy. So the hole basis system is preferred over the shaft basis system. Now let us study the shaft basis system. In shaft basis system, the design size of shaft whose upper deviation or the fundamental deviation is 0 is assumed as basic size. So of course that is the basic size. So when the upper deviation of the shaft is 0, so that is considered as the basic size, and different fits are obtained by varying the limits of hole to have different types of fit. So shaft is kept constant, shaft size is kept constant, and the hole sizes are varied so as to obtain the different types of fit. In other words, limits of shaft are kept constant and limits of holes are varied to obtain the necessary type of fit in shaft basis system. So the advantage is that this shaft basis system is preferred in different accessories with different fits such as pulley, bearing, gears are mounted on a single large shaft. So when we are having a single long shaft, and on that single long shaft we are mounting, on the same shaft we are mounting the pulleys as well as bearings and gears, and some similar components are mounted on the same shaft, then it is preferred that we can go for the shaft basis system. We can have a constant size of the shaft and we can vary the sizes of the hole. In such case only, when the shaft is a longer one and several components like pulleys, bearings, gears are mounted on the same shaft. So this is about the shaft basis system. This is the graphical representation of the shaft basis system. So here this shaft is shown in the red color and we are having 3 different holes are shown just for comparison. So the shaft size is constant. This is the shaft, that size is constant. So the shaft size, the upper deviation of the shaft is equal to the basic size. The maximum limit of the shaft is equal to the basic size, and this line coincides the zero line. So from here to here we are having the basic size, because this is the datum line or the reference line, this is the zero line, and zero line represents basic size. From zero line to the reference line, this distance is nothing but the basic size. Okay, so this is the shaft and this is the lower deviation, this is the higher deviation. So this higher deviation is the fundamental deviation for the shaft, and that is equal to 0 in case of the shaft basis system, because that maximum limit of the shaft, maximum size of the shaft is equal to the basic size for the shaft as well as the hole. So that is constant. So the size of the shaft along with the tolerance of the shaft, the maximum and the minimum limit of the shaft is constant. So this is the minimum limit of the shaft, this is the maximum limit of the shaft. So these two limits are constant, and the maximum limit coincides with the basic size, or you can say that the fundamental deviation, which is the upper deviation, is nothing but 0 in this case, right? So we are having 3 different holes which will give the 3 different fits. So the first hole is giving us clearance fit. First hole is giving us clearance fit because this tolerance zone is lying above the tolerance zone of the shaft. So the hole size is larger than the shaft size, so we can have the clearance, or in better words we can say that the smallest hole is bigger than the largest shaft, therefore clearance is obtained if you use the hole number 1. Okay, so now let us go to the hole number 2 where we get the transition fit. So this tolerance zone is shifted closer to the shaft, and there is a overlap between the tolerance zone of the hole as well as the tolerance zone of the shaft. So this is the tolerance zone of the shaft, this is the tolerance zone of the hole, and there is the overlap. So it indicates here that the biggest shaft is larger than the smallest hole, and at the same time the biggest hole is larger than the smallest shaft. So this type of fit is nothing but the transition fit. So here the fit is changed because the size of the hole is changed, because and the size of the shaft is constant because this is the shaft basis system. So here there is one more hole which gives us the interference. So again this hole has become smaller, or we can say the tolerance zone has now come to the closer to the datum line. Okay, so therefore here we can say that we are getting the interference because here even the biggest hole is smaller than the smallest shaft. Therefore, we are getting the interference fit. So, we can change the fit. What ultimately we have to discuss is that we can change the fit by changing the tolerance zone, changing the limits of the hole, but the limits of the shaft are kept constant, and thus the fit can be changed. We can obtain clearance fit, transition fit, or interference fit as per the requirement. Now, what are the disadvantages of shaft basis system? In mass production, use of this shaft basis system will need a large amount of capital and storage space for the large number of tools, drills, reamers, broaches, punches, etc. required to produce holes. So, in order to produce the holes, the tools required, the standard tools, the costly tools like the drills and the reamers and the broaches and the punches, they will require a lot of money, lot of capital investment will be required, and the storage space for storing all these tools will also be required, because we have to produce the various sizes of the holes and the shaft size is kept constant. So, required to produce holes of different sizes. So many tools are required to produce the holes of different sizes. So, this method is not preferred in mass production. In mass production, this method cannot be preferred, as limits of holes are varied to obtain the necessary type of fit. The second disadvantage is that if you vary the limits of the holes in order to obtain the necessary type of fit, then it becomes compulsory to measure the inside diameter. Again, the measurement problem. We have to measure the inside diameters of the holes again and again. So, internal measurements are always difficult because of complex construction of the measuring instruments used. The measuring instruments which are used for measuring the internal dimensions, they are having the more complex construction, and therefore the measurement is time consuming, and this also will increase the inconvenience, and therefore the shaft basis system is rarely preferred in the industries. The internal measurements are time consuming. Lot of time is required for the internal measurements, and that we have seen. Accuracy is measured value depends upon the skill of operator. So, the accuracy of the measured value, that will depend upon the skill of the operator. If the operator is skilled, then he can measure the value correctly. Otherwise, the error will be there. The measurement errors will be there in the measured value. So, accuracy will not be there in measurement. Therefore, cost of inspection increases due to the requirement of skilled laborers and the high wages which are required to be paid to the skilled laborers. Thank you, my dear friends.